All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action now. Cousins. He's got him in. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He got 29 yards that time. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What do you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling, go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this 1st down, and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
I like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. On 1st down, Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
21.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DT. Have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Ryan now off the bootleg. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Richardson coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Here's Ryan to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding him to a field goal.
And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Listen to me, listen to me.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. From the gun, here's Cousins. Steps away to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give the defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second down, Cousins. The Kidder here, it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Here we go.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And it's taken in at the 9. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it? Touchdowns.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Let's go. Check. Out. 12.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Watch two. Hey, Tuesday.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Off the bootleg, Ryan. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation,
there was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, what a move. They find some open field here. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Yellow, reach in there, yellow.
A give, this is Cook. And now running right through it. Still going. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down. Here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A second down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. This is first. A score back here before halftime. They'll run with Cook. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Flush to his right. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jalen Samuels, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no, a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Throwing, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
So a special teams mistake on a long punt return.
And think about the momentum that leaks out after that play, right? It's built up, terrific return, everyone's excited, but that flag on the ground can bring it way, way back.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. So we are at halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will get them one closer. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. Gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Ryan on 2nd down. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
21.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Go. Wait. Hey, gun.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Gun.
From the gun, Ryan. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Jones. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, sometimes it doesn't appear like much. The out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, it can turn into a big play. The reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Let's go.
On first down, Ryan. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Anthony Barr. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, Ryan. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, receiver.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. After the interception, here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Atlanta. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sheldon Richardson able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Hey, Tuesday. 21.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a 1st down.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll throw again. Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. 3rd and short yardage. Cousins. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Again, it's Cousins. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that'll make it 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Carlson able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they will take a knee here. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And they'll indeed take a knee. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And now out comes Minnesota. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat-and-mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
He'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. He's back to throw. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So they had to take the shot there. Obviously, that was pretty much it, their last chance.
No other play for them, right? I mean, there's no other choice. It's not like you can have some strategy move, right? Punt it away and hope to... No, that's what they had to do. Right now, that offensive unit, they're pretty discouraged on the sidelines. They're going to feel like they let the team down in that situation, but they were in a tough spot to begin with.
And with no timeouts now, they just need a miracle.
Yeah, an absolute miracle. If the team has the ball, just find a way to run out the clock, take care of the ball, and go home a winner.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Atlanta, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So for our entire crew, along